All right, what's going on YouTube? Back at with another video. So today we're gonna talk about. I find when you begin to take the self improvement stuff really seriously, it makes you. I mean, very, very aware, but also objective of reality and your reality too. I'll give you guys an example. See, before I decided to get lean, because I think pursuing to be lean puts you in the state where you really prioritize your health and you care about your health. The gym does that too, but I believe lean is it's just another step of that. But I can't tell you when, but one day it just clicked, and I'm like, wow, everyone's cooked. Like everyone's cooked. Like people don't understand that people that are skinny are 25 to 30% body fat. That's a high amount of body fat. It's a really high amount, but that's the norm. Some people have a 35, 40 inch waist. You have some women. I'm like 178. You have women that are 5'4" that weigh more than me. These are just things you become aware of. And you start thinking, wow, I didn't realize it was so, like, you knew it was bad. But when you start caring about your health more, it becomes very apparent how cooked most people are. And it really blows my mind. I'm like, wow, because that's another thing too. When you really pursue this self improvement journey, delaying gratification, that becomes your new identity because you recognize, yeah, you have to delay gratification basically all the time. See, everyone just eats, for dopamine, for fun, because they're bored. You can't do that, especially if you're trying to get to that next level. You can't do that. That's another thing too. You can't have it both ways. You have to pick an identity. You have to destroy your old identity for this new one to emerge. And I was talking to a really good friend about this. This is why your environment is so important. See, I had to cut some people off. Actually, no, not even. I don't even say cut off. They actually willingly left. But I recognize now. See, you know how you have that friend that you really want to lock in, but their actions don't reflect it. When you get to a certain point, it's almost there's this inner peace where instead of what they say, you just follow what they do. So when you watch what they do and you know not about it, now you don't get upset because everyone's gonna do what they want. And it ultimately boils down to how bad do they want it. So if your friends want to drink, smoke, and do all those things, that's cool. The only problem now is you can't interact with them because it's gonna make you misaligned. But it's nothing with them. It's ultimately you. Because that's another thing too. I've realized now. Yeah, most people aren't gonna change. So now, and I think it's when I talk to some family members, they have this certain people in the family think they're gonna change. But I'm just subjective about it. I watch what he does. I know he's not gonna change. It's that simple. But when you don't align with someone, me personally, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's gotten so bad. Well, not bad. I don't think it's a problem anymore. But it's very hard for me to interact with people. It's just in family. Point where, yeah, if they're not, I don't want to talk to them. Like if I don't have to talk to them, I'm not going to talk to you. That's how it is. Because I actually understand the spiritual damage that being around misaligned people does. And for you to understand that, you have to see. For me, let me tell you what changed everything for me. What changed everything for me was when I joined the community of locked in people, of lean people, and I saw what they were doing, and I saw how they were talking, and I just knew, okay, this is the actual standard. So in my actual reality, the people aren't doing these things. I know they're cooked because it's really. Let's really think about it, guys. Working out 4 to 5 days a week, hitting your protein goal, tracking your calories. This is all basic stuff. It doesn't make you exceptional. It doesn't make you amazing for doing these basic things. But certain people are still going to downplay it, yet they're not doing the basic things. I'm telling you, this journey it's gonna humble you. It's gonna teach you so much because, like I said before, you can't have it both ways. You can't say you want these. That's the thing. Everything you want is on the other side is comfort, but you can't do that for 5 days and then the weekends you just jump off a cliff And then it's funny because the friend, we won't go too much into detail, but essentially, my other friend was telling me that he did something with this girl, and then when he gets back, he said he's gonna lock in. And I'm just like, one, that's not the first time he said that. But two, what is action show? Okay, so action show. He had fun on the weekend, and on Monday he's gonna lock in. You already know he's cooked. Anyone that's you already know he's cooked because every day is Monday. The weekends are Monday, holidays are Monday, Tuesday is also Monday. Every day is Monday. So now I don't even think I'm not disappointed. I just observe reality. I'm objective. Yeah, he's not locked in. That's it. There's no emotion. It's just yeah, he's not locked in. See, disappointment comes when you have higher standards for someone than they do themselves. But if you just focus on your standards, because that's the biggest thing too. When you're around an environment of locked in people, you're not having to ask them to hit the gym. They're gonna either invite you to the gym or you know they went to the gym, and it's just literally gonna show in how they look, how they talk, and how they carry themselves. But what I'm not gonna do anymore is if I tell you to do this and do that and you're not doing it, I know, yeah, you're not worth the time. You're not gonna waste your breath or energy because it's really basic stuff. But if you want to eat for dopamine hits, or you say you want to lose the weight, but you want to eat crumble every other day, then you can't have both. You got to pick. You either stay fat or you'll give it up, become the best version of yourself. That's it. It's very simple. We've That's the thing too. It's very simple, but the ego and just wanting to appease dopamine and make yourself feel good, it makes you. It just makes you not aware of very basic things. Because it sounds very simple. All I'm saying is, it's not what they say; it's what they do. But there's a level of understanding. Like you have to go through certain things because you likely have certain friends. If you listen to this, you might think they're on self improvement, but once you become objective and you're able to really observe reality, you're gonna see, okay, they're not locked in. Nothing against them, but they're not locked in. But if you want to get locked in, you have to find actually locked in people, and that's really rare. That's what makes it so difficult because it's so rare. You have to get to the point where you vibrate so highly where you start to attract other locked in people, either through where they're going, what they're doing, et cetera, et cetera. But most people, they're really just not about it. And that's the thing too. A lot of people are gonna think, "Oh, you think you're better?" No, it's not about being better. It's just you know what you want, and you know your environment is either gonna help you get there or it's gonna move you further away from it. Because I'm telling you guys firsthand, I've seen it with friends. You're either going backward or you're going forward. There's no in between. There's no in between, like you guys think. You don't just stay where you are. You go backwards or forward. That's why you always have to choose delayed gratification. That sounds crazy. Yeah, it's gonna sound crazy in the beginning, but just know your standards are too low, but they will get higher. They're gonna get higher as a consequence to when you interact with people that are really about it. See, the reason and something a lot of you guys just don't get, even when I try to talk to certain friends, they just don't get it yet. And that's okay. But the reason this health journey is so important is because it's the first way that you prove to yourself that you can keep commitments to yourself. I can't tell you guys how proud I am of myself just knowing I actually counted it today. It's been 43 days since I haven't had any goofy food. It's been 43 days of eating the same meals over and over and over and over and over again. But my thing is, it's been easy because my standards are so much higher now because the environment around me is so different. They've been doing that for years. But this was the first time I've gone more than 2 weeks before I had a cheat meal or some goofy shit. But see, that's the thing too. If you're really trying to be the best version of yourself, if every time you go out with those friends and you're eating goofy foods or doing acts of gootivity, they have to go. It's nothing against them. Because ultimately they're doing what they want. They're in alignment. But you know that if you keep hanging out with them, it's gonna stray you further from the mission. You gotta put the mission first. The mission comes before woman, comes before you giving it instant gratification. You got to put the mission first. That's the most important thing because I see now if I keep putting myself through this, like what happens 90 days, 120 days where I've only cooked meals at home? Like how do I feel? How strong I am? How do I look? You know, Because the reason I'm the best I've ever been now is because my standards are just so high. This has become the norm. And the biggest identity shift for me was, yeah, we're not doing the eating for taste anymore. It's to fuel the body. Because why would I willingly ingest poison? So once you become very, very aware of, if you just analyze what a crumble cookie is, what an Oreo does, when you become that aware, it's so easy to not eat those foods. Because if you want to be exceptional or extraordinary, you gotta do is consider extra. Or you guys know what I'm saying. Fuck, I fucked it up, but you guys understand. But yeah, you gotta do things that most people aren't willing to do, and that's why I'm so grateful for my community. But just listening to other people, there's a reason everyone's telling you to take your health serious, because in the pursuit of bettering your health, you're becoming the best version of yourself. But that journey innately is spiritual, and you're gonna learn a lot about yourself. See, when you go out and get blackout drunk basically every weekend, there's no way for you to learn yourself, because you're always gonna run into some bias whenever you go through some shit. What happens? And I'm always gonna use the example from Bleach, where he's basically, he needs to achieve Bankai really quick, right, Ichigo? So Urahara, I forgot what he does, but he essentially makes it a way to force, Ichigo's Zanpakuto out, so Ichigo can, fight it or whatever to acquire Bankai, something like that. But the easiest way for you to have these spiritual breakthroughs, you have to remove all vices, because all vices are just a distraction. When all the vices go away, you can start journaling. Things that have been so suppressed for years through bad habits, they start to pop up, and you can now deal with it. But that's why you have to get to a new version of yourself. You have to be out of balance. Well, that's what most people are gonna call it, out of balance. But it's you just having higher standards, which people that have those standards are gonna tell you, oh, you're obsessed, you're out of balance, live a little. They just don't get it because they don't do. And it's funny, not to say I'm David Goggins, but I'm sure people like David Goggins, people that really like, he's like, people are never gonna understand him, because it's just willingly put yourself through. That's the thing people don't understand. When you willingly put yourself through discomfort every day, when you don't have to, no one's telling you to do it. Well, no, people are telling you to do SR, but saying no one's forcing you to do SR. That's the thing, no one's forcing you to go to the gym. Like, there are benefits to going, but ultimately you have to do the work. That's why self improvement. But that's why there's so much to gain when you do it, because so few people, you know, they want the results now. They're not patient. See, this journey is going to teach you. You have to be patient. For me, I had to interact with people that, oh, they've been training for 10, 15 years, 16 years. All I've only been training for 5. I'm basically a novice. And anyone that knows me would probably consider me advanced lifter. But I'm basically a novice. In actual training years, I'm a novice, literally. And if I consider the fact that, okay, the first 4 years was basically preparation, for now, I'm literally a novice still. But when you recognize you're a novice, like, oh, okay. But the standards I have now, if I'm a novice, that means in 5 years, if I'm consistent, can you imagine how crazy jacked and stuff I'll be if I maintain standards, which you will ultimately do, because when you get to a certain point, that's what makes it so easy. When you've won the spiritual battles, yeah, we're not eating for taste anymore. If I go out with friends, I'm gonna eat the same foods I eat, or I'll starve and just get a water. If I want a cookie, I'll go to Whole Foods, buy some brownie. That's the thing too. If you want a cookie, you see, I'm really glad I did carnivore and keto, because what I learned from those diets is you can make all the foods you like from fast food places. There's like a keto or carnivore recipe for all of those things. You can make, just like you can make hot dog buns that are like carnivore friendly. It's crazy, but you can just make it at home. So there's no need to eat poison. There's no reason in my mind for me to ever eat Doritos, goofy shit. I don't have to do that, because if I want a cookie, okay, boom, I can just make a cookie or buy some Whole Foods. That's not poison, There's a lot of other options, or you just starve, And that's another thing too. That's why I'm glad I fasted for 166 hours, because that taught me you can go multiple days without eating. You'll be okay. So now when I get hunger pangs on the cut, I'm like, this is fine, because I actually did eat something today. I can go 4 days without eating food. I'm gonna be okay, because I had something for breakfast. I'll be okay. I'm a little hungry. It's fine. It'll pass. And I'm telling you, the journey, it's really awesome. And that's why I started recording these videos. They do help. Not gonna lie, they do help because you're going through so much changes. Like your mind has to catch up. These videos, it helps. It helps the mind catch up. But I'm telling you, the higher standards get, man, I'm actually excited for the next couple of months because I know only gonna get stronger, look better, feel better. All these things are going to come because the identity shift it's already occurred. That's why I'm able to eat the same meals over and over again. And I know it. That's what I'm like. This is my weapon because I know if I showed you how I eat, you guys would be like, "There's no way you've done that for 40 days. There's no way." And it hasn't been difficult because that's the thing. You can't lie about the stuff because you're doing it. But if I tell you how I guys eat, it's literally just ground beef, rice, eggs, some milk, a little bit of fruit. That's it. No, there's nothing else. Not. But it's so easy to do and it's so peaceful. See, when you're not going out and eating goofy stuff, it's you gotta cook at home because you got your protein goal. Hitting your protein goal, that's non-negotiable. Not eating goofy foods, doing gooftivity, that's also non-negotiable. And when you adhere to non-negotiables, it reinforces this new identity you're having to build because now you're not around people that they want you to have that old identity because that's how they know you as. And these are just things you start to recognize. And it's why I encourage anyone listen. If you haven't gone to gym yet, please you need to go. You need to go because on the other side of the gym is shit none of us can imagine. Because when you do it with intent, you're intentional, and you really give it your all, and you do all the right things, you will actually transform. I was thinking like how I'm gonna look in 6 months is it's scary, but in a good way. It's like damn, I was trying to think of an anime example. What's the anime character? That's the question. What's the anime character that they were like known for being dangerous because of their potential? It'll probably come to me later, but yeah, that's the question for them. I'm gonna start doing that to see who's like listening. So if you ask the question, you're rolling. Appreciate you. Always gonna record, so you guys have something to listen to. But I'm telling you guys, just keep moving forward, man. If you haven't seen Attack on Titan, go watch Attack on Titan. You got to keep moving forward on some Aaron Yeager shit because let me tell you, it's not a joke. You all have founding talent powers. You can all see the future. The reason you can see the future is because you go on any self improvement channel. Anyone that's about this shit, they're gonna tell you your circle's gonna get smaller, your status are gonna get higher. You have to have identity shifts. All these things, if you continue this path, they will occur. And I have a really good friend. That's the most locked in motherfucker I know. I don't know if you're listening, but you know who you are. You're actually locked in because everyone LARPs it, but that nigga's actually locked in. That's the most locked in motherfucker I actually know and can like drive to and see. But he's a lot younger, so I know he's still got a bunch of transformation to go to. But I'm like that nigga's locked in. But I'm telling you, most people are not locked in. They say one thing, they do the other. You have to remember it's supposed to be boring. It's not supposed to be this fun. Like when you eat that birthday cake or you eat the dynamites, whatever goofy foods you guys use. It's not supposed to be like that. It's the same. I have the same routine. I wake up at 5, I work out, boom, come back, post workout meal, go on my walk, go to work, after work, boom, come home, record. It's the same thing. It's the same over and over and over again. It's not fancy, but it's simple. It makes you diligent, resilient. You just keep doing those things over and over again. That's where the power comes from. You got to master boredom. You have to master boredom. That's why the cheat meals or whatever, they do a lot more damage than you guys understand because in order for you to get to the other side, you have to delay gratification for essentially very, very long periods of time. We're talking about years. Because that's the thing, guys. People listening, you want to be the best version of yourself. Now, ultimately, you have to conquer yourself first. But I always say you're still competing, whether you realize it or not, right? There's one chick. Why she's like, there's one chick, everyone wants her. Why is she gonna pick you? You gotta think, okay, she's gonna pick me because I can keep commitments to myself. I actually have control of my lust. You don't need her. If she comes, cool. But see, that's how you start to separate yourself. That's why we have to go on this journey. It's how you become dangerous, literally dangerous. Or cold, as Steph is cold. I was saying, shout out to Steph is cold. That's another big inspiration too. We have to become colder because I'm telling you, the best form of revenge is gonna be success. If you're going through shit now, like we all are, that girl cheat on you, that friend backstab you, they don't fuck with you anymore. It's fine. Let them do that. But when you start getting some motion and things start going off from us, when they come back, now you got the leverage. Because now you can tell them, you see, I was right. I was right. We also want the same things. What happened? Boom. That's the best form of revenge. So just stay locked in. Put the mission first. Because it's gonna work out. It is going to work out. You just have to keep doing the work. Keep doing the boring work over and over and over again. And it's gonna work out. So don't stress if you're going through a hard time, it's gonna get that's what I'm telling you guys. It's when you start to take your health serious, shit's gonna start happening to you. Like you're just like, oh wow, it's because you take your health serious, but it's so much more. But it's a consequence of pursuing better health because that's you becoming the best version of yourself, and that's consequences too. Good consequences. When we say consequences, it's just the result of actions, but it's not bad. You know. But yeah, guys, stay locked in. We're all gonna make it. Don't do no dumb shit. Don't eat no goofy foods. Make sure you're tracking, doing all that stuff. Make sure you're doing the basics. Remember, do the basics. Boom, we're all gonna make it. Of course, we're uploading tomorrow and the day after and the day after. Stay locked in.